Welcome back, guys. We got another Monday here. Last week was missed. Life happens, and I apologize for missing a week in McKinnen Mondays. I had some things going on. I wasn't able to film on the normal days that I film. As a school teacher, you got things that you get caught up in, and it takes some time, and it took a lot of my time, and so wasn't able to film on last week, but I'm here. We're covering episode 16, chapter 16. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave your comments, leave questions, ways of engagement. At any point, we can have a circle discussion and kind of talk about ways in which the story is progressing. In any chapter that you like, I would love to give you my perspective and introspective points of view based on, the chapter. Sorry if I'm moving around a lot. My hamstring is I strained my hamstring. It's really tight. Chapter 16. Starting to pick up. We're down to the last few episodes. I'm still going to have McKinnen Monday videos, but they're going to be in another construct based around the theory the theory book that I have coming out. I'm going to kind of go over a couple of those chapters and talk about those. It's still related to the theme of McKinnens, so definitely something we can still talk about and discuss. So let's jump right into it. Chapter 16, it's like right in the beginning of chapter 16. I did that because I didn't want to give too much away, considering the things that are starting to pick up and go on, which are multi-layered and multifaceted. So let's start. Once I got home, I told my sons what had happened, and we all just broke down and cried all night. We couldn't stop. It was as if we cried, took a breath, and cried some more. It seems as if everything that you try to overcome, things that you try to overcome, something happens along the way. Another challenge presents itself, and then in this case, another life is lost. So in this chapter, Molly is expressing that something else tragic happened. I'm not going to go into details. You can get the book on Amazon. You can get the book on Barnes & Noble's online. I think Walmart still has it online, so you can grab it there online. You can order yourself a copy. Again, it's a short read, so short read, page turner. You can get through it quickly if you spend some time on it, just to kind of get a feel of what's going on. Kind of don't want to give too much away. But the theme is, going through things and going through pain that you've never felt before. I know quite a few people have gone through it. And it's really difficult to describe. When you lose someone, it's really, really hard to deal with. And I think there's a certain club and community that you're a part of that when you discuss that with someone who has lost someone very close to them, a mom, dad, brother, sister, and I'll kind of speak specifically there, right? You lose your mom or dad, you lose your brother or sister, especially if it was too soon to lose them, if they die young. For those who were close with their parents, there are some people who lose their parents and it didn't really mean much because they weren't as close. But when your parents, do great things for you and or you lose a sibling that you were close to, it's a different pain, man. It's kind of hard to fathom. I still can remember the pain. It's not like anything physical. With physical pain, I can kind of deal with. I kind of maneuver around it. It just becomes uncomfortable and annoying. But this type of pain, it hurts different. It's really hard to explain, and only people who have lost someone really, really close to them that they've made an emotional connection with or admired and spent quality time with. So for me, I lost my brother. It's 21 years I spent with this kid. We shared a lot together because we weren't able to have our own rooms. I got my own room when I was 13, but it was brief. but we shared a space for 15 years, you know what I mean? And when you share a space with somebody and you're talking to them and you share those moments with them, you develop a bond, you develop a sense of connection. And that's kind of what Molly is going through with the second tragedy that she's facing. But it's really hard, like not something that I've been able to get over. You miss them physically, although you know they're with you spiritually, or whatever you know, the audience, whatever you guys believe in. But you wonder things, you know, okay, I'm 38. He would have been in his 30s. What would his kids have looked like? You know, how would he have looked, you know, I'm sorry, as an older person? And it's really hard to, first of all, you can't get over it. It's not something you just get over and move past, right? You cope, and you just try to get through. I even find myself today, you know, wanting to, selfishly, right? Because he, you know, he died of cancer, so there was, you know, he was facing pain. So selfishly wanting to see him again, you know what I mean? But it's hard. Like you know, and it's kind of part of the reason why when I miss filming, I keep myself so busy, because I don't want to sit in that sorrow, because it's painful and it's hard. So I think what you guys are going to see what's going to happen to Molly, she kind of does some of the things, not specifically that I did, but you run. I have family members who also do that. I'm not going to mention who they are or anything, but you run. You run away from it. It's just too hard to be around, to focus on, because it's so hard. It hurts. It hurts, and it's very hard. So, you know, when handling a loss, it's, you cope. You try to cope. You try to get through it. It's hard. It hurts. When you think about it, you want to cry. You try to think about moments of happiness. When my dad tells me, you want to think about the happy times, but that's the part, you know, the happy times you want more of, you can't have, because you figure, okay, we get to this age, we can hang out more, we're closer, you know, because we were a bigger gap in age. Like now, okay, we're grown men, now we could do, like, he's gone, I can't, you know. And it was interesting because I do have close friends and people I call my best friends, but although I needed them, I didn't want to be around them, which was weird. And then I found myself, you know, long story short, making a lot of mistakes, doing a lot of things just to run and to get away, to try to deal with the pain that I couldn't deal with, I couldn't cope with. It's tough. It's tough to get around that. One thing I do know, crying is always good. It's a stress reliever, it helps, but it's like a Band-Aid, man. You know, the scar's still there, still deep, still hurts, still bothers you. I think I've said this to people before who ask me, how can you handle that? How do you deal with that? Why? When something like that happens to you, you lose a parent, for me, I lost my little brother. It's the hardest thing I've ever had to deal with in my life, and I'm still dealing with it. That's how hard it is. It's never gonna go away. Nothing else is hard. Nothing else, you know, barring, you know, another tragic death, or not tragic, but another death with someone close. And then they almost merge together, I feel like it's gonna happen. I don't know, but nothing's harder than being that close to someone and then they're gone, you know. So for me, I've already faced the toughest thing. You know, even the fear of death doesn't scare me as much as it used to, because to die, in my mind, you're kind of free of all of that stuff. And that's just what I believe. I don't know. Of course, we don't know what happens after death, but nothing worse than dealing with this pain that's just up and down, up and down. You know, birthdays are hard. Holiday season is coming. Those are always hard for me. It's hard, man. You know, it's unexplainable. And to talk to someone who relates to it is easier, but to try to explain that to somebody who don't get it and hasn't experienced that, and then they try to get it, it's just frustrating because they have no clue, man. They have no clue what you're dealing with emotionally. They think, oh, it's okay, you'll be fine, and they try to encourage you to be positive, but that's great, but nah, man, you don't get it. You don't get it. You just don't understand. And when people tragically lose someone close to them like that, I'll give you guys a perfect example. Perfect example, and then we'll head out of here. Kanye West, man. That cat lost his mother. And from what I understood, his mother was like his best friend. So you not only lost your mother, who was closest to you and raised you and was around you for most of your life, or 30 years of your life, and then your best friend? I don't condone some of his actions, but I understand them because of his pain and the fact that he's running and he's trying to figure out how to cope with this thing that, which I don't understand, is just haunting him, man. You know, and in my mind, of course, he found Kim Kardashian attractive and blah, 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 but his mom, in my opinion, Kim Kardashian's mom reminds him of his mom, and getting close to her was helpful. But then he kind of figured out, that's not my mom, she's different, right? Same alpha type, but not really, as far as intelligence and all those things. So I look at his stories and I hear and it's just based on what I'm hearing. I know that man's hurting. I know he is, because I feel it. I could tell he's doing things that are erratic, or was. I don't know what he's still doing now, but he's trying to find his coping. And I'm still coping and trying to find, and we're running, and it's all it is. We just running, man. But I digress. McKinnen Mondays, like, subscribe. Merch still coming soon. I'm gonna order some more merch. I'm gonna have a platform website for you guys to order it. It's exclusive, so I'm only doing a dozen at a time. So if you like something, it sell out, it'll come. It's coming. Be patient. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. Dr. Melvin Johnson is where you can find me on YouTube. Dr. Mel Chris 2 is where you can find me on Instagram. If you want to request a sweater, a hoodie, let me know. Thank you guys for staying. Oh, also, I got to go over 10 minutes. I found out some information on YouTube, so I got to start going over 10 minutes and not under. Trying to build some things here. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and talk to you guys some other time.